This appears to me, from what I viewed and the officer's reaction and distress immediately after, that this was an accidental discharge that resulted in the tragic death of Mr. Wright.
Welcome into TYT Overruled. This is attorney Adrienne Lawrence with an update on the fatal police shooting of young Daunte Wright, who died during a traffic stop on Sunday in a Minneapolis suburb. In an unprecedented move, the Brooklyn Center police chief decided to release the officer's body camera footage during today's press conference. Now, this is less than 24 hours after police shot the unarmed 20-year-old father. And this follows a night of unrest where hundreds of people protested and clashed with police in Minneapolis following Wright's death. The chief said he wanted to release the footage because the community needed to see it and to be transparent and to be forthright out of respect for Daunte's death. To warn you, this footage is graphic. That was the encounter between Brooklyn Center Minneapolis police and Daunte Wright that ultimately left the 20-year-old dead shortly after he left the scene of the traffic stop. Now, according to the police chief, the officer drew her gun instead of her taser, killing Wright, who was unarmed. And as you may have heard, the officer yelled taser 3 times. The department is calling this an accidental discharge. Even so, Mayor Mike Elliott of Brooklyn Center says that he fully supports relieving her of her duties. The officer has yet to be named, but the police chief said she is a veteran senior officer and that rumors of her threatened suicide are not true. The police chief also said that the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension declined to participate in the press conference because he released the body cam footage. Now, this bureau, which generally investigates crimes, said that they do not condone the shooting. So before I get into why the Brooklyn Center PD even pulled over Wright, I'd be remiss not to point out the obvious. Accident or otherwise, we're not even a year out from the death of George Floyd, which occurred just a few miles from where Wright was killed by Minnesota police. Floyd's killer, Derek Chauvin, is on trial just 10 miles away from where Wright's body laid on Sunday. To have this happen in such a short time span in such a close area really speaks to the level of police brutality that is going on and the fact that we have too many unarmed black men being murdered every day. With that being said, according to the police chief, the officers pulled over Wright's vehicle yesterday afternoon because he had expired tags, meaning his registration was out of date. And when they approached his vehicle, they noticed Wright had a hanging air freshener from his rearview mirror. They ran a check on him, and at that point, they found that he had an outstanding warrant for a gross misdemeanor. And then they proceeded to try to take him into custody. That's where you saw the video start. Now, even assuming this account is true, it's still another unarmed black man left dead. How is it that we had an experienced veteran officer who didn't fully appreciate the weight in the difference from a fully loaded handgun to a taser? These kind of things are happening too often, and they cannot continue to happen. We need change, and we deserve it. Thanks for watching.